So I want to start with a personal story. When we moved to Canada, we stayed with family in the suburbs for a couple of weeks, and the family member asked us where are we planning to live, and I said downtown. And she said, that's great, and when you have kids, you will move to the suburbs. And I said, I don't think so. And she said, you'll see. When you have kids, you will move to the suburbs. And spoiler, 8 years later, we have 2 kids, we live downtown, and we have no desire moving to the suburbs. There are 2 sayings that I really like. They are catchy and I think they're very clever. The first one is, if you love nature, don't live in it. And the second one, you're not stuck in traffic, you are traffic. I think these 2 sayings capture everything that is wrong with today's suburbs. The point that my family member was making about having kids and moving to the suburbs is a point I think we need to take a moment and think about. Because what I remember very vividly is that she had 2 teenage girls and she had to drive them around all day, picking up, dropping off twice because she had 2 kids. As sad as this might sound, I felt really bad for the teenage girls who had zero independence because you don't have proper transit in the suburbs and you can't really rely on buses that comes once an hour. So I want to dedicate this video to the suburbs. The data I'm about to share is from a wonderful book called Country of Cities. It's about American suburbs, but you'll see why for the purpose of this video is totally fine. So at what densities do Americans live? 8% live in a 20 stories or higher. That is almost as the same percentage as people who are living in a mobile home, vehicle, or a boat in the US. So it puts it in this really interesting perspective because you would assume that living in a boat or a mobile home would be more rare than living in a building of 20 stories or higher, right? And listen to this, 61% of Americans live in a detached house. And if you're including semi-detached or a duplex, it brings it up to 71% of Americans. So now you're probably asking, yes, but why cities are any better? So as my partner, Misha Berezniak, likes to say, gray is green. And we tend to think that if we put a green rooftop on a remote office building that everyone needs to drive to get there will be considered sustainable. But it's actually that the compact urban environment that for us seems more gray than green is the true sustainable city because you can cycle everywhere and it's a much smarter use of infrastructure. It is also that cities in the US count for 3% of the land area, but produce 90% of the GDP and 82% of the jobs in the entire country. And also in the debate between suburbs and cities, how much does it cost? Now let's go back to Toronto and the GTA because some great changes are coming to the suburbs. One of Metrolink's projects that I am personally very excited about is the GO expansion. And it's a project that you hear less about in comparison to Eglinton LRT or the Ontario line, but this project has the potential to reshape a region. And it also cost us a fraction of what the other 2 projects cost us. And with the GO expansion, each station will start seeing intensification because this is also the right place for the suburbs and these smaller municipalities to grow and grow up. It is also backed up by municipal and provincial policies that are determined to see density of housing and jobs in proximity to this expensive investment, transit. So how do we get transit-oriented communities right? How do we get everyone excited about it? That could be a topic for a whole other video, but in short, it starts with the right mix of uses and the public realm. Not a place that empties out between 9 to 5 or after 5. And for that, we need a place that people live and work in. We want these new districts to become a destination on their own. We want people all across the region traveling from one station district to another, exploring what a region has to offer. I wish I could travel in time and see how it all looks like in the future. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.